Well, so just to give the connectivity of our topic, what we are going to discuss now, people, focus on my data. See, in day three, we
Excuse me, sir.
discussed, yeah,
I can't see your screen actually.
my screen is shared already. Now,
Yeah, now it's visible, but data is not visible.
I have not yet shared any data so far.
Okay.
You can see my screen, I'm highlighting something.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
No, no,
that's
no,
great.
no, sir. I can't see any data.
No, there is no data. I am showing the screen of MS Teams. Is it visible?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
highlighting.
visible.
That's what I am confirming. Now, take a look over here. What we are trying to say is in our day three, when we go for our data analysis, you would have seen we have performed a lot of calculations in terms of pivot table. We have designed the dashboards, a lot of things we did, right? But those things are possible only if you have a ready-made data or a master data in place. Do you all agree with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, suppose say that master data is not there. It is scattered over multiple sheets. Say we are receiving our data on monthly basis and I have received similar sheet like 12 months, 12 sheets. And at the end of 12th month, at the end of closure of the year, I need to prepare a consolidation of all this 12 months data and I need to prepare a pivot table and I need to create a dashboard and present it to my boss. Suppose this is the scenario. Then what we do? That is what we are going to discuss. Now take a look. If that is the case, if I go for my multi-sheet analysis, you will be finding that over here, we have got 3 years data. Now, suppose say like this, I have got 12 months data sheet. Now, if I need to prepare a pivot out of that, first we need to go and create a new sheet and we need to copy this data and paste it. So one below to the other, we'll be doing the copy paste work and we create a master data. Then we prepare a pivot out of that. This is how the practice we follow. Do you agree?
Yeah.
That is no doubt. What you are doing is absolutely right. But is it not painful while doing the copy paste work? Or there might be a chance of committing some mistake, or there might be a chance while doing some kind of error rectification, you may change or update the source data, but you may forget to update your master record. And even if you have prepared pivot table, though you do the right click refresh, since your source data is not changed, your pivot is also goes for toss. So this is the place where people, what you need to do, ideally, I would suggest you first, instead of doing the copy paste work manually, consolidate the data. So now when you want to consolidate, our 95% users across the globe, they will tell you go for macro program. So here, what we are going to do, we are not going to write any kind of macro program for this. So first thing is, being a non-programmer of Excel, how to consolidate the data. And once your data is consolidated, how to prepare a pivot. So I'm going to combine two concepts over here. So first thing first, if you want to combine our data in our data menu, we have a very beautiful concept over here called get and transform data and queries and connections. So if you have 365, your job is becoming more easy nowadays. See how? This is called, you're nothing but the section called Power Query. It's a very beautiful thing. And this itself is a different world in Excel. Excel itself is a ocean, we know that. But within Excel, this is a different world. So we are going to make use of these options called Power Query over here. So now the question is how to use this Power Query for data consolidation. If you want to use Power Query people, then there are two rules always you need to follow. One, the data, whatever we have over here, it must contain the column headers, and those column headers should be in sequence or in the chronological order across all the sheets. So the formatting should be a standard format. The column headers should be in standard format across all those 12 month sheets if you have 12 sheets over there. Now, rule number two, the amount of data, whatever you have captured, it must be converted into table. And we know how to convert that, Control T. Then going to the next sheet, Control A, Control T. Going to the next sheet, Control A, Control T. So both the rules are satisfied now. Data is having the similar column headers across all the sheets and data is converted into table. Kindly confirm. Hope it is clear, working.
Yes.
Now, going to data, make sure that all the three sheets has been converted into table. Make sure about it. Don't convert your entire worksheet to a table. Only the data portion, what you have, including the column headers, must be converted into table. Okay. Now going to data, go to the get data. You can see we have an option called from other sources. And from that, you have an option called blank query. So when you go to this blank query over here, you will be finding in just no time, one more window from the backend will be activated and naming called query editor. This is quite similar to your Excel window only, and it needs a platform called .NET platform to load. And here also the formula bar is there like your Excel, but the options, those quite look similar, but there is a difference over here. In Excel, whatever you write in this formula bar, we call it as worksheet functions or formula, but here we call it as a query language. In Excel, nothing called over here called case sensitive. Your formula and functions you write in caps on or drop caps, no problem. But here, everything is case sensitive. In Excel, anything goes wrong, we have a undo facility, but here there is no undo facility. But we have a better option over here called applied steps. So whatever you do in this window, every step will be recorded in this box. And any point of time you feel that any step is not being done properly, you want to rework on the same, you want to recreate the entire process, you can simply delete and you can start doing it. That is what the option is about. Now, coming back to the formula. Here, you can type equal to E caps over there, Excel. The very first query language it comes called Excel.current workbook. So when you go for Excel.current workbook and select, then go for bracket open, bracket close. And the moment you hit enter, this will take you through this kind of window where you could see a content column and the name column appears with 3 line items. So we'll go with a confirmation first. Just check it out, all of you. Those who are having 365, did you receive the window like this? Hope it is working.
Yeah, it's working.
Right. Now, once this is done over here, next, in this name box, if you see there is a filter button embedded, click on the filter and go for text filter. In this text filter, you have an option called begins with. Now, when you go for begins with option and you choose, there is a dialog box appears stating that begins with what? Towards your right side, a blank box is there. Keep your cursor there and type tcaps table. Just type tcaps table. Now here, once I do that, what is the purpose of doing this job? Let's discuss that. We are giving a condition to our Power Query that if at all my data is converted into table, those data alone you should bring it to our Power Query. If I have some workings or if I've named something with my name range or defined something with name, you should not bring that. So that now the moment you go and click OK, only the fields or the tables are there, those things will be brought over here. So this is the reason why we are commanding this with the filter button. And you can notice, is it recorded the steps with a called filtered rows over here? Right?
Yeah,
Then once we are done with this, the next step towards the left, you have a content column. And in that content column, if you see the right side of that content column, there is a two reverse directional arrow keys, one button is there. This is called data expansion button. You can click on that and immediately your data will be expanded with the column headers. And exactly below to the column headers list, can you see we have an option called use a original column name as prefix. By default, the checkbox will be always on. You have to deactivate that. Now you can ask me a question, Pravas, what if I forget to do? Or what if I do not deselect or uncheck this? There might be a chance over here the column name will be having a dilution, like it will create some prefix to each and every column and the column headers will be diluted, which we do not want to do. That's the reason why this option always has to be unchecked. Now click OK and see the beauty on your blink of your eyes. Your entire 3 years data will be consolidated into our Power Query window. And if you want to cross check, go for the first column, your filter, and you will be finding all these 3 years data will be displayed on the screen. Can you see that?
yeah, it's working.
Right. Now, once we have done with this over here, our data consolidation happens from multiple Excel sheets, very simplest process. But all this happened in the backend of Excel because this entire Power Query is the backend of Excel. But technically, our data is there in the front end. So ideally, what we need to do, we need to load this data back to the front end. So going to home, if you see the very first option, it is showing close and load. So when you go to this close and load option and click that, we have the close and load inside. You can click on it. And now, along with this three Excel sheet data, there is a query sheet will be generated. And towards your right, you can notice it will display how many rows item total it has been consolidated over here. And if you see that your column filter, is it showing all the 3 years data? So This is how we have understood, being a non-programmer of Excel, by using Power Query, how to consolidate multiple Excel sheets. Kindly confirm all of you are getting the same query sheet generated with 576 rows loaded,
Yeah, I'm getting it.
right? Now, our next job is to prepare a pivot table. So keeping your cursor anywhere in the data in the query sheet, going to insert, I told you, go for the icon and click OK. Now take year to the rows and sales USD into the value area. Okay. So all these 3 years data loaded, and you can go to design and change the colors over there, and going to the report layout, show in tabular form. So how to consolidate multiple Excel sheets and how to prepare a pivot table from multiple Excel sheets, we got that clarity. All clear? Any difficulties? Anybody?
It's clear for me. Thank you.
Fine. Now the question arises over here. Pravas, this is what 3 years data we had already and we did it. Now suppose while I'm doing this operation, my boss sent me an email stating that Pravas, I'm sending 2017 data as well. Kindly update in your report. So 2017 data, I do not have. Let us go and create first. So click on that plus symbol to insert a new worksheet and rename the same as 2017. 2017. So since we do not have the data, let's go and create it first. Now go to 2016 and keep your cursor in that column header. The very first row is the column headers. Keep your cursor there and go for Control A. So when you go for Control A, you will be finding entire data range is selected. Copy that. Control C. Come to 2017 and keep your cursor in A1 cell and paste it. And expand the columns. Now, to give a feel that these are the data of 2017, let's do one thing. Go to our column A and B. Go to column A and B and select something like this, the entire column, and go for Control H, find and replace. Find what? 2016, replace with 2017. Technically, in the real time, it is not needed. Since we do not have the data, we are just trying to create some sample data for 2017. So we have taken the 2016 data and we are replacing that data to 2017. Go for replace all. You'll be getting a message. 384 replacements have been done. Click OK and close this window. So we got our 2017 data ready. Kindly confirm.
Yeah, it's ready for me.
Now, once our data is ready over here, now the objective is, as my boss was expecting, I should update my records accordingly. So the question is how to load this data to pivot table. So first thing first, we cannot directly export 2017 data to pivot table because there is a connecting bridge between these two is query. So ideally, we need to load our 2017 data to query, and from query, we can go to pivot table. But now the question again running in your mind might must be that, Prabhas, do I need to recreate the entire process? Should I go for opening the query again? No. See the beauty. Once you have 2017 data, again rules. All the column headers should remain the same. Yes, it is. Is it converted into table? Yes, it is. Now, having said this, going to the query sheet over here, I can simply go for right click upon the same and going for refresh. And when I go for refresh with immediate effect, you could notice in that column year filter, did you see 2017 data is also getting loaded with no time? And once you find 2017 in query sheet, going to pivot, just right click and refresh. You got 2017 data loaded in pivot table as well. And just to have a self check, can you see exactly 2016 total is also there in 2017? And since we have taken 2016 data, we got the same total. See how the job has become so easy for us, right? So this is how people we have understood how to consolidate multiple Excel sheets and how to prepare a pivot table out of multiple Excel sheets, combining the same by using Power Query and having the data connections to all the source data. So I will take you through to confirm that whether we are having still the connections. See, I have taken 2014 data over here. Okay. Now, later stage, I suppose realized that my 2014 data is in trouble and there is some data is not properly captured. So I went to my 2014 sheet, the very first row, whatever the sales USD is there, I have changed to 75,200 US dollar. Now I need to update my pivot. So again, I cannot go directly to pivot. I should go for query, refresh, going to pivot, refresh. So can you see the data with immediate effect, it gets changed exactly 2014 data. So I don't need to remember again which row item I have to change or which year data I have to change. So I have to just only focus with my data changes. That's it. So this is how people we have understood how to consolidate multiple Excel sheets and how to prepare a pivot table out of multiple Excel sheets. Hope it is clear, working. Any doubt, any queries?